In today's episode, I really want to focus on BTC, Bitcoin, because I really feel that we need to understand the trajectory of this particular cryptocurrency for the week, because it is really important, because it is detrimental in comparison to what the other alternative cryptocurrencies are going to be doing, because you guys already know that Bitcoin is obviously sort of influential when it comes to how the other alternative cryptocurrencies tend to perform. So anyhow, today is the 20th of December 2020, and the current price is around 23,442. So this is not really financial advice. Whatever you do, please do your own due diligence. I do not want to be responsible, and I am not responsible for any profits or losses that you are going to encounter. This video is obviously for entertainment purposes only, and it's not really financial advice. So whatever you do, please do your own due diligence. Okay, with that said, let's jump into the Bitcoin technical analysis. So first of all, the first thing that I really want to say is I really see Bitcoin in the next 24 to 48 hours having like a little bit of a correction. Yes, in the grand scheme of things, right? Bitcoin is obviously absolutely bullish. 2021 is going to be an absolutely great year for the price of Bitcoin and just for the whole entire cryptocurrency sphere. But you have to understand that fluctuations do occur, and these minor corrections are what really promotes the healthy rise of any particular asset. You just can't expect an asset to just continue going up in one direction. There's going to be, and there's bound to be, volatility. So I just wanted to get that out of the gate. So anyway, the first thing that I wanted to talk about is obviously the funding rate, because the funding rate is very detrimental due to the fact that it shows us the sentiment of traders. And at this particular moment, as we are talking, right, obviously the price of Bitcoin is, well, the funding rate of Bitcoin is about 0.0374. But you have to really understand that this is a very high funding rate. So right now, everybody is longing, like the majority of people are longing. And when that happens, market makers have got the incentive to push the price in the opposite direction so that they can make money, because right now the longs are paying the shorts. So a few hours ago, right, around 3 a.m., right, the funding rate was super high. It was 0.0782%, and as you can see right now, people are beginning to close their longs and the funding rate is slightly reducing. So even though we reduced from 0.0782, right, all the way down to about 0.03, right, we are still doing very well in terms of the funding rate. So that really means that we have some more downside, we have some more potential downside, and then there needs to be like a reset in terms of the funding rate. So the funding rate has to hit the negatives. We have to go to negative 0.01 or negative 0.02, and when that happens, obviously the prices are going to be like a little bit in the reds. So this is one of the reasons why I am super confident that the price of Bitcoin from now till, I don't know, like Monday, well, basically in the next 24 hours, we are going to experience like some slight correction, which is going to be like a very good buying opportunity for a lot of people out there, because ultimately we all know the price is going to continue going up high, and there's obviously going to be like higher prices and all that stuff. And I have a question for you. We are already in the festive season, right? And 5 days from now is going to be Christmas, and people are going to be celebrating their Christmas holidays. So what do you think most of the people are going to be doing? Because if you take a look at BTC, right, Bitcoin has been doing tremendously well for the past few months. I mean, ever since October, right, we have had like a very good, dramatic and lucrative rise of about 123. Don't you really think that people are going to be sort of cashing out a little bit, before Christmas, before New Year, so that they can actually get to sort of, enjoy their holidays and just basically get to like spend a little bit of money? So I don't really see any problem with the price dropping a little bit lower. And right now, if we just focus on the smaller time frames, right, so obviously I'm focusing on the 4 hour, the 8 hours, and anything which is like lesser than the 4 hour when doing my technical analysis. So when I'm using this particular time frame, right, then obviously everything that I'm talking about is obviously going to expire in the next like 8 to 24 hours. So this is always time sensitive, and I always want you to have a time frame, because when you're trading you need to have like a time frame. If you're using like a particular time frame, right, it has an expiry date. So everything that I'm going to be talking about is probably going to be nullified after 48 or 72 hours. So you just have to follow with me when it comes to these, time frames and what I'm talking about, because it is very important for you to be sort of kept in check as far as the time frame. So every time that I release a video, right, always look at the time, always look at the date, and always look at the time frames that I'm referring to. So in the next 8 to 24 hours, we are most likely going to end up having lower prices. And as you can see right now, we have actually started dropping, especially on the 1 hour, which is very, very good. So the immediate support is around 23,000 flat. So most likely this is where we're going to end up going. Like in a few hours, we're going to end up going here. Okay, so when we were at this particular price point, right, around 3 a.m., just like I told you, according to the funding rate, right, we were around like this particular area, and we ended up correcting. So right now we are beginning to form some sort of lower lows. So what's going to happen is, since there's like a lot of liquidity around this particular area, right, we're obviously going to bounce off of this particular area, and then we're going to do something like that, and then finally break through, then find some support, then try to come back here, since this particular area is going to start acting as resistance, and we're going to end up going here. So if I'm going to be doing like any swing trading, right, I'm obviously going to be pinpointing areas which are going to lead to bounces, so right now, if you look at the grand scheme of things, right, if you had to look at it from a very risk-free point of view, right, if you're looking at it from a risk-free point of view, if you look at where we are in comparison to where we came from, right, so let me just switch over to the daily. Look at where we are. Let's say you are in the long at this particular area, and then we end up having like a very good decent correction. Then you're obviously going to end up bleeding a lot. But at this particular moment, we can't really assume, because assuming is not really our cup of tea. We are always realistic, and we stay focused, and we always trade with a time frame. So right now I can't really say what the lowest price is going to be as far as this correction is done. I can't really say, okay, the price is going to end up, sort of finding support at this particular price point, and this is where the downtrend is going to end. I have no jurisdictions to do that, and I can't really do that. I can only notice when the sell exhaustion occurs. Okay, so right now I'm actually able to notice that the buy exhaustion has occurred on the 4 hour time frame, on the smaller time frames, the 4 hour time frames. Okay, and I have been able to like pinpoint this particular fact, and since I sort of noticed this, right, I obviously sort of went into a stablecoin, and I also have like a little bit of a short, which I'm going to close pretty, shortly from here. I'm not really going to keep it for long, because we are in a bull market, so it doesn't really make any sense shorting the market. So for the most part, I am secure. I kind of took profit on most of my altcoins, and I'm just remaining with my principle. Just like I told you, my strategy is always leave your principal money in a particular trade, and always just take profits on top, or whatever you get as profit, and then just be better, and just have like bigger amounts to get to buy back, let's say for example when the prices tend to correct. So looking at it from this particular area, right, let's say for example, let's assume this was a Wyckoff distribution, and then we end up coming back into this particular range, and then we sort of do that, and then we go to the downside. Okay, so I understand, like right now at this particular moment, it looks highly unlikely that the price can actually go back below 20,000, because everybody has been saying, okay, we have been grinding our way up to about 20,000 US dollars, and this is it. We're off, to higher prices, and we're most likely going to go to 30,000. I understand, but that's very easy, and everybody's thinking like that. Okay, and if everybody thinks like that, and then it also reflects in the funding rate, which is pretty high at this particular moment, right? So it means, the market makers can make money by taking the price the opposite direction. And one thing that you have to remember about Bitcoin is, according to past data, we have had experiences where the price pumped by, 20% and then dumped by 25%. Okay, so anything is possible. Okay, so just because we are around 24,000 US dollars, 23,000 US dollars, it doesn't really mean that we can't really see the price go below 17,000 US dollars. And at this particular moment, right, it's only, a small percentage in terms of the price dumping, because according to history, we have seen crazy dumps, like a 30% dump in less than 3 days. And that is obviously very possible. So what I'm trying to tell you is, do not always overwrite scenarios. Do not always assume, because assuming and having like one sort of mentality and one sort of narrative is going to get you wrecked. Always have your options available, and always think what would be the most profitable thing to do for the market makers. Like, what would make the market makers a lot of money? Okay, they make a lot of money by doing the opposite of what the retail investors are doing. Now, a lot of you might be saying, hey, Muna, check this out. There's a lot of institutional money, buying a lot of Bitcoin, and these guys are like, in the game right now, and it's not really in their best, it's not really, they basically don't want to see lower prices, it's not really like in their best interest to see the prices of Bitcoin go lower. The fact of the matter is, to them, it doesn't really matter, because they have professional traders, and these traders know exactly what's happening in the order book. So regardless whether the price goes down or up, their money is good. And as a matter of fact, if they are in a position, right, let's say for example, they bought around 9,000 US dollars and then sold around 24,000 US dollars, right, and they are already secured, and they've already safeguarded their profits. If they cause enough damage to the price, right, and the prices go down, right, and a lot of people get wrecked, right, then they obviously get to like double their money or make more money, because these guys have got sophisticated trading bots, have got very experienced traders and all that stuff. So to them, it's not like they can only make money if the price goes up. They can make money in any direction. You get what I'm saying? So to them, whatever happens, they are still going to be on top. On the contrary, it's us who are going to be losing money, because we basically react when everything has happened. We are always late for the party. Okay, so I'm not really saying this is going to be the scenario which is going to most likely play out, but I'm not really overwriting it. It is a possibility, and this can happen. It really looks highly impossible at this particular moment, but it is a possibility. Okay, and this can happen like in a few days. It can happen in less than a week, and then after 1 week, right, we're back to 25,000. Things get really sketchy and very crazy when it comes to bull markets and that stuff. So do not overwrite any type of scenario. So anyway, as you can see, right, these green bars that I have, these green shapes here are obviously like a few plays that I'm going to be playing, and these are areas of value as far as potential bounces on a smaller time frame. And remember what I told you, I'm looking at the smaller time frame because I am a day trader. I make like a lot of trades in a day, and these fluctuations to me really matter a lot. So as you can see here, right, I'm obviously expecting the price first of all to come to this particular area around 23,000, and then after that we're most likely going to see anything between 21,000 to around 22,200, you know, because there's a lot of liquidity that needs to be tested right over here, because I know a lot of you out there have put your buy sort of orders right over here, because according to you this is where we have like a lot of support, because you know there was that particular bounce and that particular bounce, and then we sort of went up higher, right? And you know so a lot of people have got buy orders right over here or slightly below. So this is one of the reasons why there's going to be a very good liquidity test, and this is one of the reasons why the market makers are most likely going to take the price below 22,414. Okay, because they need to stop out a lot of people. Can you imagine people getting in at this particular era, right? They have to suffer a little bit, they have to be punished, and once they see that this particular support has lost its value, they're going to be like, oh my god, what am I doing? And then the price is going to sort of tank, and then probably come back in this particular area, then hit that wall, and then continue going towards the downside. Okay, so this is what I expect to happen like in the next probably 4 to 24 hours. So I really believe that Monday is going to be like a very red day. And usually Mondays are very slow because people are coming back from their weekends and they don't really know exactly what's happening. And, people are just like waiting for the markets to like show them more information, more data, so that they can make some sort of, educated and calculated moves. So this is one of the reasons why probably tomorrow, 21st December, is going to be like not so very good of a day. And this really means that a lot of alternative cryptocurrencies are also going to, end up losing their value. Like in a short while, they're going to end up some sort of correcting. So let me just say correcting, because if I say losing value, then you guys are going to misinterpret it. So altcoins are also going to end up correcting as well, which is going to be a very good opportunity for us. Well, for me to sort of get to buy and just accumulate for the future. So for now, my probably immediate target is obviously going to be between 21,500 to around 22,400. Then if this particular support gets lost, because take a look at this, after this particular area, we basically do not have like a lot of trading action. This is like a vacuum. Okay, so if the prices lose this particular support, right, it's probably free fall from here. The prices are just going to be like kind of dropping, because we don't really have like any price discovery, any price action, we don't really have like tangible exchange between the buyers and the sellers. So this is one of the reasons why the order book is obviously going to be sort of easily sliced through. And if that happens, right, I'm obviously looking at the 1 hour. So this time frame is like very, very small in comparison to your expectations. So please keep that in mind. So if we take a look at the 4 hours, right, the 4 hours, this particular area is very substantial. And, we had like a lot of trading action around this particular area. There's like a lot of exchanging of buys and sell orders here. So this is obviously going to be like a very good area in case we end up losing this particular support. We're most likely going to end up coming close to around 20,000, because 20,000 is the price that we had to like come back to like after 2 years. So obviously it's like a psychological sort of wall, and it used to be resistance, and it's probably going to turn into support. So but what I really think is the first attempt, I think we're going to slice through 20,000 if we end up losing this particular area. So I really hope that you guys are understanding my thoughts. And all these scenarios depends on what's going to happen when or if the prices reach a particular area. Let's say, for example, we lose this particular area, right? And then we end up coming to this particular area, right? If we do not end up keeping this support, so the first thing that's going to happen instinctively is the price is going to bounce. The price is going to bounce off of this particular area, 20,000, well, 19,700 to 20,000, right? People are going to be buying. That's the first instinctive thing that's going to happen. And that's the first reactive thing that's going to happen, because a lot of people have got buy orders here. So it's going to bounce, then continue doing that ranging. And if, listen to me carefully, if we don't really have like a lot of supporting power, then we're going to lose this area and we might dip further. So I'm not really going to mostly talk about this particular scenario because I don't have data of what's going to happen here. I do not really have this particular data, so I can't really talk about this particular area. So once we cross this particular threshold and I see and I observe what's going to happen, then I can, talk much about this particular area. So that's just how I roll. I don't want to be clickbaiting and I don't want to be talking about things that I have no tangible evidence, on. So, but I just want you to understand my way of thinking and how I'm reacting to these prices. You get what I'm saying? So please remember, do not use my information as your trading guide, because you don't really know what I'm going to be doing like in the next 8 hours or something, because things can change and my strategy can change. Okay, so always make sure that you whatever moves you're going to be doing, you fully understand what you're getting yourself into. Okay, if you've got specific questions about trading and like how you can improve your trades, and just basically be a better trader, my email is in the description box below. We can have like a one-on-one, and then we can obviously get to like improve your trading. So yeah, that's obviously very negotiable and we can talk about that. So please feel free to like contact me. I just wanted to give you this perspective. So yeah, moral of the story is the next 8 to 24 hours are going to be very bearish for Bitcoin and alternative cryptocurrencies. Okay, yeah, we're obviously going to see some bear action and some red action, and probably people are going to be panicking. So I just wanted to like give you a heads up and just like keep you in the loop so that you guys don't end up freaking out. So overall the markets are very bullish, and these small fluctuations don't really mean anything, because after 3 days, after 1 week, we're going to get back to higher prices, and this is obviously going to be like water down the drain. So in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't really matter, but you have to understand, I am a ruthless trader. I am a day trader, and to me every volatility action is money. Okay, so yeah, don't get lost in the sauce. Always remember to manage your risks, and that's one thing that we need to be talking about. A lot of people don't really know risk management. When I started investing in cryptocurrencies, right, I basically had like zero idea about mitigating my risk and just doing the right thing for my portfolio. I was like a reckless crypto bandit, and I learned the hard way, and a lot of you are just beginning your journey, and you guys are like so excited because you're easily making a lot of money. It's actually called beginner's luck, because I remember in early 2016, right, when I started investing in cryptocurrencies, my first trades, I can't even call them trades, because I just bought Bitcoin, and then all of a sudden I was like making a lot of money, like 200% profit. I was like really in a lot of money, and that's how I got siphoned into this particular market. So it's actually called beginner's luck. So my advice to you is learn about risk management, because there's going to be a time when you guys are going to be making way much more money, and you guys are going to have like so much money, and then you're going to be like, doing or rather making the worst decisions. So always research on how to keep your money before you even get your money, because it's not about making money, it's about keeping money. I am a guy who basically lost pretty much everything during the previous bull run, so I know what I'm talking about, and I understand beginner's luck. So yeah, just do your research, do your Googles, stay safe out there, because I don't want anybody to go through what I went through. Like, that's really emotionally and mentally damaging, like whereby you are a guy who basically had nothing, then you made a lot of money, and then again you lost everything. But I'm still here, and the game still continues. I'm 10 times better, and this time around I'm going to make way much more money. So yeah, hopefully my story is going to end on a positive note, and I know for a fact that there's a lot of you who have been supporting me since 2016, and I'm here to assure you that we are going to make this money, and I'm going to be a reality check to a lot of you people out there, because some people need to be reminded to to get back to reality and do what is the right thing to do in order for them not to fall into a certain ditch. So please set your notifications for my YouTube channel. Make sure you watch every video, and I know I really tend to talk about a lot of stuff because I just don't want to talk about charts, because investing in cryptocurrencies it has to do with a lot of things. It has to do with your emotional and mental state as well, your emotional and mental education, because people don't even know themselves. Trust me, a lot of people don't even know themselves from an emotional and mental perspective, especially when they have a losing trade. When you are trading on leverage and you are down by about 50%, a lot of people can't really handle that. There's a lot of anxiety that you need to deal with. There's a lot of things that you have to deal with besides trading. So trading is actually a whole environment. This thing is very crazy, and you need to be mentally and emotionally strong, because you can easily lose your marbles. You can easily lose focus, because this game is ruthless. So anyhow, it's been your boy Muna, aka Beyond 10x. You guys have been awesome. Talk to you a little bit later. Bye.